Hey everyone, Katrina Sawa here with another really cool class slash interview. I'm here with Nancy Giere with nancygiere.com and Bundling Your Brilliance. We are talking today about creating profitable courses and programs. Who wants that? I know many of you might have courses already or programs and things like that, or even membership programs to leverage your time and expertise, but are they profitable? Are they good? Do people refer you? Do people want to be an affiliate because your course is so dang good? If not, maybe you want to listen in because I know Nancy is an expert at creating courses for people with the curriculum and really good expertise. And I'm really good at like pricing them and how to sell them and what it all goes together with everything else you're doing. So we're going to have a fun discussion today, creating profitable courses and programs. And so it's going to be super fast. And please put comments below or tag us or whatever if you want to talk more. We are here to talk to you afterwards as well, or we'll definitely follow up and we can have a call or whatever. So Nancy, why don't you tell people a little bit more about you, your business, what you do with people, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, as you said, I'm an expert in course creation, and I have been working on creating courses in an online format as long as online has been around. So you can all do the math on that. And one of the key items that I'm really passionate about is helping people with good design. I think design is the underpinning for just about anything we do in life. And so why not have a course that's really well designed so that people are going to want to not only take it, but they're actually going to finish it, which is one of the challenges that we all have.
Yeah.
So I've been at this for businesses of all sizes, and I've worked across just about any type of content or delivery platform that you can imagine. And it's just what I'm passionate about.
Awesome. And so some of you who might not know me, I mean, I'm a business coach. I've been doing this for 20 years. I help people make more money. So one of the things I help people do is to create or come up with the idea for a program, product, or service, making sure you have a funnel that has multiple offerings with different price points and at different learning styles. Because some people love to learn by course and doing it themselves. Some people want to have more access to you and talk to you in like a group thing, right? Or one-on-one. Other people love to follow along with videos and challenges and maybe a membership program or maybe come to a live event. There's so many business models out there. But a course or a program is something I think almost all, especially coaches, can do for sure because it's just your signature thing. So I have Jumpstart Your Biz Now, and but we're here to talk about the profitable courses and programs. So I want to get started with some tips. So Nancy, let's share a little bit about some of maybe the mistakes that people make with their course, and like one or two mistakes, and then one or two of your best tips on where to get started or what to look at if you already have a course, perhaps.
Right. Well, some of the common mistakes that people make, first of all, is to just start writing without any type of a plan in place. And you can end up kind of backing yourself into a corner. Because we believe that because a program starts with an introduction, that the introduction should be the first thing that I write, when in fact, it's the last thing that you want to write. You want to get all your content blocked out and laid out first, write all of the modules, and then go back and then write a good introduction that will really take people into what the modules are all about. That's one of the biggest problems that people have, is they don't begin with the end in mind. They start at the beginning instead of starting at the end and doing what I like to call backward chaining. Figure out where do you want to take people, and then what are you going to do to get them there.
Awesome. And so is there any other big mistakes? I mean,
another one is to get hooked up. We get worried about the platform and focus on the platform first.
Yeah.
People will spend money on the platform and then it'll sit dormant while they're working on, oh, hey, I've got to build out all my content. So it's a good idea to get a sense of which platform do you think is going to work best for you? What are the features? How are you going to be able to use it? And then when you get further along in your course creation process, once you have a good outline and framework built, then pull the lever on the platform. Sometimes things can take longer than we anticipate. Most people are not creating courses full time. It's yet another offering that they're going to have for their customers. So you have to really think about, how long is it going to take me to get there, and what are all the key components I want to have in place so that you're ready, you're really ready to go when the time is right.
Yeah, the platform thing really bit me in the butt one time, because I signed up for this platform that was like $72 a month on top of everything else I was doing, and I hadn't sold one yet, right? And then I spent about $10,000 with my team, adding 1,000 trainings and stuff into this. It was like a membership area, and granted, that might not be what you would do with the course, but I put a lot of stuff in there, and then nobody really wanted to pay for it because it was, I think, overwhelmed, too much information. Yeah. So tell us, what are some of the things that you might suggest to get started? If someone doesn't have a course yet, what's the simple course to create versus someone who's been in business for a while and has many? What would they do next, right?
Right. Well, the best place to start is to get an idea of what does your target audience really need. Really hone in on what are the problems that you solve for them. And some good indicators are, what questions do people ask you over and over and over again? What do you repeatedly do to onboard your clients? That's a good place to look. And you ask some questions, do some focus groups, do some research online and see what's out there, what types of courses are out there. Talk to your current customers and prospects, get an idea of what they want, and then look at, how does what they want line up with what you do. That's the first step in the process. Then you want to take a look at, what content do you already have and what form does it exist in? Because there's a good chance that you can repurpose quite a bit of information to create a course. Very few people are starting from zero. You've got it out there, but it's just in another format. So if you're going from, let's say you wrote a book and you want to turn the book into the course, you've got a nice place to begin. Maybe you have a series of articles or blog posts that you've written. That's also good input into the course. Then from there, you want to come up with, given what I already have and what the market needs, then really think about, now what's going to be the best way to teach this. And it's great if you can offer things, as you were saying, in a variety of formats, because people like to consume courses in different ways. Some people, like you said, they want to be independent. Some people want to have their handheld, but it's a great way to lay the foundation with your clients, particularly if you're a coach, because if they get the basics done in an online program, then when you work with them, you can work at a much deeper level because you've cleared out all of the general information that everybody needs to know. And frankly, it's something that somebody can read that you don't necessarily need to impart to them in a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, you go into, like, you explain it a little bit different than I do, because you're about the what's in the course and how should they consume it, and how are you making sure they get what they need, and make sure it's what they want too, etc. Which is awesome. You have to think like that. I kind of go from the other end, going, okay, I have this thing I want to sell, like, or maybe I want to sell a higher end thing. Okay, what's a lower end version of that? Or maybe I have a signature talk that I love giving this talk, and it has the 6 steps to blankety blank. Well, what's that going to lead into? Well, it could lead into a course. And what's better to sell from stage or a virtual presentation than a lower end course, perhaps? I've had courses that are 90 days and $4,000. I know there's lots of people that charge thousands and thousands of dollars for their courses, and sometimes they're an extended period of time even. And you can do like a short-term course, maybe like a 60, 90 days or even a 30 days, and then add on 3 months or 10 months or even a 12-month masterminding or membership onto the course. So they buy the course and they get the thing after for the implementation and accountability. So there's a lot of different ways to create these programs that you can do, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And it's really about how much depth are you going into. So you can start out with something that's real simple, gives people an introduction to who you are, what you do, what you're all about, and provide, have maybe one topic that's like a core topic that everybody would be interested in, and start there and build from there. But I always like to think about, let's start with what's your idea, what's your vision for the whole program, and then work backward. You know, if you have the idea of the whole program, if you know the journey that you're going to take people on, and you know how everything is going to connect, then you can start building out from the beginning.
Mhm.
And this is because you really know what you want to have happen for people. You can also look at, sometimes the best place to start is in the middle, because what do you have the most content already that you can pull from? How much can you repurpose versus, man, I'm just going to have to, so there's some things in here I haven't written down yet. I'm going to have to spend a little time pulling this all together.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I would say, so building a course, let's talk platforms really quick. You might have a different opinion than me, and I think both are great. But I say put it on your regular website for now until you start selling it, and then maybe invest in software that can make it better or make it delivered better or something. As long as you still have the systems for they buy and then they get auto delivered the thing and they can go online and get access. I just think I like to build things the most affordable way possible. What are your thoughts on first steps in that
I
regard?
think it's all about how much interaction do you want to have built
Okay.
into the program. So if you just are
Yeah,
putting
good point.
something on your website, you'll have a
Yeah.
video clip and then perhaps some downloadable PDFs that they
Yeah.
can work back and forth. But if you want to add more components, if you want to have quizzes built into it, then
Yeah.
it's a good idea to be on the platform. The other thing
Yep.
is the platforms have the payment gateway built in. So if
Yeah.
you don't have anything like that, it's kind of like, what do you already have? If you
Yes.
already have a way to put stuff on your site and collect payments, fine, put things there. But if you don't have that yet, then that's a good opportunity to
Yeah.
consider one of the platforms. And they vary in pricing, so you can kind of get the most simplest, most basic
Yeah.
options, and then as your business grows, then you can add on. You don't need to
Yeah.
go with the Cadillac right
And
out
we
of
don't
the
want to
gate.
mention which ones they are here, because what happens in these kinds of calls is you'll mention one platform and people are like, oh, that's the one I have to have. And then it may
Right.
not be the right one for them. So like, I don't do this with technology either. And I know you do, when you like to get people more in like a call or something where you can advise them more specifically to their business. So
Exactly.
don't ask us that question,
And
because
they all do a great, they all do a great job. It just comes down
yeah,
to, your budget, and are there any features that are unique to them. They're getting closer and closer every day in terms of
yeah.
what they can do.
And sometimes a course, so I think of a course as like what you're saying, like it's a go do it yourself. Here's your videos, here's your downloadable materials, here's your action steps, here's your thing. And there's really no access. Sometimes I see access, but I don't see, when a course is a course, I don't see it as an having access to whoever wrote it, the mentor. Whereas I see a program, if you're going to launch a program, and the way I look at it, and you can share your thoughts on this too, is if you want to create a course or a program or a training of some sort that has step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in it, for example, like host it live, like go sell it. They call it building the plane while you're flying it, right? Go sell it, then produce the content with the people as you're doing it, or just prior to, or whatnot. Now, and then you have the recordings of that. Now, I know you don't like the recordings of all of that, and it's not doesn't make the best course for the
Right.
do-it-yourselfer when it's done that way. But it also gets you used to presenting your material. So it could be that you do it once or twice live with people, right? And you get used to your content. You get the feedback, so you know how to tweak it and all that. And you get paid to do that. And then maybe go produce the formal content piece, right?
Yeah, I always recommend that people, when you stand it up right out of the gate, do a webinar first.
Yeah.
For the reasons that you mentioned, because you work out all the kinks.
Yeah.
You have some rehearsal time, and
And
then
you get feedback. Really
and you
valuable
get feedback, and then you go and record it. Because what's
Yeah.
interesting is when you record something, it's going to be shorter than it is in the webinar format, because we
Yes.
tend to be chattier in the
Yes.
webinar format. And when everybody's in the moment, everybody enjoys all of that. But when people are
Yeah.
working independently, they want to move through it more quickly.
That's a great point.
And I also think that because we're conditioned to getting entertainment on screens, that we're used to things being well produced. Now, having said that, people will forgive if the video isn't the greatest, But if your audio is bad, you're going to lose them right out of the gate. People just, they can't tolerate it. They're done. They're out. So at a minimum, have work on having good audio.
Yeah.
And the other thing is usually webinars, they're 30 minutes, they're 60 minutes, they're 90 minutes. When you are moving to the online format, you want to have it be shorter, discrete units that people will go through, or modules, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. And so you can, when you do your webinar, you want to be thinking about, when I go to chop this up, how am I going to do that? How am I going to break it apart? So that you can, because there is the possibility that you will be able to use some of your webinar recordings. It's not that you have to dump all of it, but if you plan it where you have logical breaks, you stop, you take questions, you pause, smile.
Yeah.
That gives your editor a place to cut in between the sections. So you have the chance to repurpose it. And was it a good hair day? Was it a bad hair day? These are all important things we have to consider.
Well, and there are those of you who are more perfectionist type out there. And I don't believe in perfection, but I definitely believe you can be polished and practiced. But trying to make it perfect before you launch anything, I think is just no, don't do that. Like, don't try to wait until you get the perfect recording of whatever. Please launch something. Don't wait.
Don't have to wait too long. I mean, there's two extremes. I'm waiting until it's perfect, so it'll never get done, or I sell it and I don't think through how long it's going to take me to really deliver it. And then I end up potentially disappointing people because I'm not ready, or I may be rushing when I don't have to. So it's a good idea to do some work up front, do that primary research, do that analysis with your market, get an idea that you have a good thing, think about how long it's going to take you to build that good thing, and then start to sell it. So that you don't get caught with, I'm going to have to work, 24 hours a day for 3 days to get this done.
And another way to think about it too is, say you have a body of content and it has different pieces or module type topics. You could potentially, say you had one module that you think might be needing to be delivered over the course of like 5-10 minutes videos or something like that. We'll put together a 2-week, 2-part live training where you're going to do it over 2 hours, and you have people there live. Sell it for $97 or $47. Make a little bit of cash. Experience it out, get feedback, have people interact with you. Guess what? Some of those people might sell up into your higher end program right there just because you had that. And then take that and either have it, like she said, like segment it out into those sections already, so you can just edit and boop, there it goes. Or you know exactly where to edit it from there on the next trial run. And you don't have to do that with the whole course, so you can. But like I've done during COVID and stuff, I did a bunch of short trainings, like 3 to 4 week trainings. And they were just on a specific smaller topic. Like I did one on delegating for freedom. So you can, how to build a team, where to find the VAs, what to delegate, and how to teach them how to do that, and how to stay accountable and make sure stuff gets done. I mean, it was a very bite-sizable piece of content that I delivered. And I think it was $197 or something like that. So something inexpensive, but give them your best stuff now. And that's what I call more of a program, right? Not a course necessarily, or a training. I call my things more of a training because they're usually live. So yeah, any other ideas of ways that people can use their content?
Well, I think looking at how does it fit in with the journey you're going to take your clients on. So if you look at your customer journey, look at the road you're going to take them down, and step back and reflect on what can they do independently? When do they need to interact with me? And how are they going to do that? And, I think we use like course, training, program. We use all of these things interchangeably. So we're kind of divided by common language across everybody that's out there, kind of depending on where you're coming from. And I like to think of it as we have an overall program that's made up of all different components. We have live events, we have independent events, we have one-on-one events, we have group events, small groups, large groups. We're out in person again, yay for that. So you just really look at how can you put it all together. Don't worry about what you call it. Think about what can I do to serve.
Yes. All right. Well, so far so good. We're creating profitable courses and programs is what we're talking about today. And I'm trying to think, I mean, there's not a lot of one of the things I think that we haven't talked about yet is when to do a course or program in your business. I know you work with a little bit more seasoned business owners, and I have some, but I like the newbies, right? And I would also maybe just put a little warning out there that if you're trying to make $5,000 or $10,000 a month and you aren't quite hitting it yet, and you only have maybe 50 to 100 people on your email list, a course or program is not necessarily where I would start because you don't have enough people watching you. Now, granted, we might have 1,000 people looking at Facebook or friends or whatever, but we know that like the majority of those are not watching or not seeing everything you do.
Yeah.
So if you start promoting something that's a group thing and you're relying on your income every month for people to come at that $47 or that $300 rate, or maybe even $1,000 course content rate, it may be a great price, but not enough people are seeing it. It is a numbers game, in my opinion. So be careful when you're promoting what to make what kind of money. That's where I like to talk to people too and make sure they're focused on the right things. You have any thoughts on that?
I think that makes really great sense to be looking at kind of where are you in your life cycle and what can you offer? Because, if it's so disappointing to work really hard on a course. And if you have a small list,
yeah,
you're just not going to get that many people. It takes time to really grow it.
yeah.
But what you can do if you're getting started and if you have a small group of clients, you can look at, well, what can I do to bring them together? And how can I move them along? And I keep using the word journey today. How can I move them down this journey? And what can I offer along the way? Because if you think about it, when you're early in your business, you're like in a pilot phase. You're figuring everything out. You're looking at what works, what doesn't work, what types of offers are attracting more people to you. What are your clients resonating with? So you're really in this laboratory, kind of working it all out with a small group of people, it's great so think about it, you're further down the road, you have a new idea. What do you want to do? You want to do your first time out of the gate with a small group of people that are going to give you feedback so that you can improve it before you make the big splash in the market.
I agree. And even the programs that I ran in the past, I mean, it was 6 years into my business is when I started that group program for like 4,000. And I think the most I've ever gotten in it is 8 people, right? So if you're charging 400 and you're expecting to get 40 people at 400 to make a big killing, I'm like, it's hard. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. But it is a little bit more challenging to get 40 people to pay you 400 than say 4 people to pay you 10,000, frankly, right? I mean, so
it really is.
It is. So you want to
it's counterintuitive, right?
It is. You'd think, oh, it's less expensive, so more people should want it. But it's just as hard sometimes to sell those people. And sometimes you still have to have a phone call with them just to sell them a $300 or $400 thing because people have been burned and they don't trust. So I'm not suggesting don't do it. Please do it. And like what you said earlier, if you have a small, like handful, 3 or 4 clients, you just started your business or something like that, put them, and they're all one-on-one, right? We'll create some kind of monthly group call or bi-monthly group call where you're doing some of these little trainings of things that you can teach that might ultimately go into your course or your program. And then bring your clients in, but invite others, because that's how you're going to build your list. And, bring them in for free for the first one. And maybe you charge, $20-$30 to attend the next one or whatever. You just have to try multiple things. And I think with courses and programs and memberships, you have to try different things. Don't just say, I tried it once and it doesn't work, because there's so many price points and so many different ways to do it and so many different times in your business to do it. You have to keep trying them until you hit the gold mine of the thing everybody wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm reworking, as you know, some of what I'm offering now and thinking through, really with what I'm doing and the types of groups that I'm running, you have to, I'm stepping back and going, how many people can be in a group where it's going to work?
Yeah.
Where it's not too few or
Yeah.
it's not too many. And I think there's a bigger risk of having too many people in a group where then people don't feel that they're getting the type of personal attention that they thought they were going to get. So yeah, there's just a lot of factors to really think through.
I thought that in the beginning too. And many people that come to me say, well, I do all this in my one-on-ones. I can't possibly do it.
Oops, somebody's at my door. My head of security.
Or I can't possibly do a group program and teach whatever I teach in a group format.
You know what?
Specialized.
It's
all right. We got
my Instacart guy is here. So
all right.
And the head of security is going crazy.
Well, you need to tell them where to find more information real quick.
They can find more information about me at nancygiere.com. That's Giere. You can email me, nancy@nancygiere.com, and I would love to talk and introduce you to my head of security who's doing her job.
All right.
All right.
If you want more from me, then go to jumpstartyourbiznow.com/free trainings and reach out, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone.
All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye.